never smoked cigarette or anything of that nature. So I distanced myself because I saw, no, this is a wrong company. Even though I'm gonna learn a lot in music, but this is a wrong company. So I went solo. I kept on pushing music. When it's time to attend classes, I will be in my room pushing music, using YouTube and all that. So 2014, I released an album. Now, here's the thing with people, right? Here's the thing with people. People never take you serious until you are actually a somebody in life. You know, that's a shout out to Kim Monada in the building. People can never take you serious unless you have something which could keep them interested. I don't know, you know. So I made my first album, you know, and after I made my first album, it was about 14 tracks, I think. I sent the album to so many record labels, you know, because music was supposed to be my biggest breakthrough, apparently, at that time, the way I actually planned my things, you know. Now, I sent my album to a couple of guys that I knew personally, you know, that I knew personally. And from that moment onwards, I noticed people who know you personally don't owe to take you to the next level in life, you know. You owe yourself to take yourself in the next level in life. What I'm trying to say is that I've been rejected, you know. I've sent my album to a couple of guys whom I thought, because they know so much in the industry, they will show me the ropes, you know. They would show me the ropes and all that. But nah, they didn't even bother downloading my album. So what I did at that time, I only had social media. I only had Facebook as my social media, I mean. So I was pushing my album on Facebook, the account that I was using at that time. So I was pushing, and then when I would post, I would get like 5 downloads. And 5 downloads, three of the downloads out of the 5, they come from me. I downloaded my own stuff just so I could increase numbers. And that simply means that 2 people actually downloaded my album, you know? And it was so frustrating that I actually didn't know what to do. You know, school is not working, music is not working, and so forth, you know? And when I'm reading about success and all that on the internet, I've noticed people only engage with you when there is something that they can benefit from. Meaning that if you present yourself to people as a nobody, nobody will take you serious. You know, successful people don't really help poor people, you know. Honestly speaking, that's just the real truth. And I've learned that. And you can't really blame successful people for not helping you, because each and every person has their own story. Lena, I was denied opportunities before, so you can't really hold me responsible now for me not helping you when you need help. You understand? So it's life. That's just life. That's just how it is. And 2014, still in 2014, around June, there was time for me to write exams. The time for me to write exams came, and I did write, but I didn't study, you know, because I was busy working on my second album now. Second album. Kore, the first album didn't put my spirit down. I just kept on pushing. I was working on my second album. So what I did was I just randomly downloaded vocals from the internet, American vocals, then put them on my songs without their approval and all that. But it was not a problem for as long as I was not selling the music. So what those vocalists didn't want is for you to put their vocals and sell them, sell your stuff with their vocals on. That's when it was going to be a problem. So it was okay for me to use them because I was not selling them. They were free, basically. So I kept on pushing, making my second album, you know. Second album, I released it in 2014 as well. Second album, you know. And problem is that the sad part about it now is that I can't really connect back to what I was doing back then because I initially lost everything. But I'll get to that part. So I was working on my second album. Vele, I released it as well. Now the second album, I've noticed that people only download if there are many downloads. So what I did on my second album was that I posted it on data file host, and then I clicked download, right? Then I refreshed. Then I found out hore immediately after I clicked download, it will write one download, like one person downloaded it. Then I'll click download again, and then it will say two people downloaded it. You know, click download, 3 people, but it's still me. And what I did, I was just clicking download, clicking download, clicking download. Then when I refresh, it says 100 people downloaded. But I knew in my heart that it's not real people. It's just a computer. When you click download, it sends a request that it's downloading, even though it's not really downloaded. So I was clicking download until I got to 1,000. So that simply means that 1,000 people downloaded my album, but it was not real people. You know, I was just hustling. And some would say it's fake it till you make it. But not personally, it's hustling. You know, it's hustling. I did what I had to do, you know. Now I took my downloads to 10,000 downloads. Now, after taking them to 10,000 downloads by clicking on my own, imagine, guys, imagine clicking on one link 10,000 times. Then after, a person will come now and say, and talk nonsense about your success. They have no idea what you have to go through alone. That's the funny part. You go through these things alone. So I released my album with 10,000 downloads. It was not real downloads. So when I released, I told people, Coach Kerry, vatsena mahala when I check. King, beat these people, man. People are not supposed to enter for free here. Beat them. Yeah, so I posted my album. So after posting it, when people saw it has over 10,000 downloads, they started downloading. So I think I got about 100 downloads, like real downloads this time, you know, real downloads, because they've seen 10,000. So 100 people didn't mind downloading because they've seen 10,000 downloads. You understand? Therefore, if the downloads were 0, 100 people wouldn't have downloaded the song. So I was like, oh, so this is how it works. So basically, people have to see you taking yourself somewhere before they can actually support you. You know? I'm like, oh, okay. Let the games begin. I will play the game. Now, school-wise, I was lacking big time. And remember, this is like my second course and still nothing. So I've had a platform to actually get a new girlfriend. There was this girl that I used to like a lot, but she was into music as well. You know, she was showing me some of the things. We were close, you know. So every time I'm supposed to make a move on her, I would think about the future. I'm like, what if we don't work and we end up not talking and all that? So I put her in the friend zone. You know, putting somebody that you like in the friend zone, you are gonna go through that in the future. There's gonna be somebody that you like, that you wanna date, but sometimes dating them is not worth it, meaning that you can ruin so many things, you know, especially if you know that you have a cold heart. So at that time, I had a cold heart, you know, I was just not ready. Now, that's 2014. I released 2 albums in 1 year. They are unknown. Those albums are unknown. At least the second album, 100 real people downloaded them. At least that's something, you know. Now, towards the end of the year, now I was supposed to write my exams. And basically I didn't qualify. You know, at varsity, you need to qualify to write exams. So I didn't qualify to write all my exams. Out of 5 subjects, I only qualified to write about 3. 2 of them automatically I didn't qualify, meaning that I failed, right? So I only wrote 3 exams. And then out of the 3 that I wrote, I actually failed all of them. So that simply means that 2014, I've actually failed everything. Everything that I was doing in that course, I failed it. Ne? Now my parents, my father is a pastor. I come from a Christian family. Even though that's not the reason why I'm not drinking alcohol or smoking, that's just a personal decision that I had to make. It has nothing to do with what my parents are or whether I come from a Christian family or not. So my parents, they understood that the first year, the reason why I failed was because the course that I was doing was a second choice. So I told them that this time I will pass because this is like the course that I've always wanted from the start, you know. Now, 2014, my parents want results, varsity results. I had 2 options, people, you know. Remember, there's a difference between lying and hustling. You must understand the details. I did not lie. I was hustling. So they asked for my results. You know, my parents asked for my results in 2014 year end. And I told mom that I actually passed. I passed everything, you know. Now they want my results. Remember, when you come from a black family, especially in Limpopo, they give you instructions that you are going to Gauteng to get the qualification and come back. You're not going there to play. If you mess this chance up, you are coming home for good. That's like, I remember the warning very well. So I've lied to my parents because I knew if I tell them that I failed, second year I failed everything, I will no longer go to varsity anymore. So I was like, okay, Plani, Oledi, I actually passed. But my results are a bit delayed. So you'll get them early 2015. So she believed me. She had no choice, you know. And during December, when we were partying, you know, December spirit and all that, now I was actually calculating how the hell will I fake my results? How the hell will I fake my results? So now I was like, you know what? I will see that in 2015. So 2014 passed. I was still not in a relationship at that time. Now remember, my success came because of what we call love. If it was not the relationship that I was in, I don't think I would have had it in me to push beyond my limits. So I think you need to get hurt in life in order to actually finally become successful. It's not going to be the case for everyone, but that was the case for me. Now, 2015, Vele, beginning of the year. So what I did, I actually I went to varsity and then I came back. I went back home. So meaning that early January after New Year, I went to varsity and then I went back home. So I told my mom that there are forms that I need to sign and so forth, right? That was early 2015, January. Kanti, the reality of the matter is that TUT has officially excluded me, right? So I found the email that Hopotso Mutlani, student number 213, what. You have been officially excluded from studying at Tshwane University of Technology for a period of 2 years. In case you don't know what that means, it simply means that TUT has chased me away. Therefore, I was supposed to take a break for about 2 years before I can even apply to study anything. That simply means that I've told my parents that I've passed everything and I will give them the results. But reality of the matter was that I actually got chased out of the university. So how the hell will I have access to the university to fake results or pretend as if I'm still studying, whereas the university chased me away? It was a fucked up situation. It was a fucked up situation. And I think God brings these things to us, such things, such challenges, in order to train us, to train us to be much more stronger. I had to be stronger. Imagine now I'm in deep shit. I can't sit with my parents down and say, Mom, Dad, the university has chased me. One more important detail that I forgot. In 2014, I was actually studying with NSFAS. 2013, I didn't have NSFAS. Now, 2014, I had NSFAS. I was studying with NSFAS the whole year. So NSFAS paid my fees for the previous year in a way when they approved me. So they paid fees for 2013 and 2014. Now, I actually got two exclusions. The first exclusion was from the varsity. The second one was NSFAS. Coach Bekitele is here. Can I take him to the VIP? Yes, Kim Monada, take Bekitele to the VIP. VVIP actually. VVIP, not just VIP. So yeah, I got chased two times. NSFAS and the university. Now, it's fine. 2015, I came to varsity. Now, when I came to varsity, I made contact with that friend of mine. That friend of mine that I cut because of the kind of lifestyle he was living. I contacted him and then I explained to him, here's the situation. I lied to my parents that I passed where else I failed. And then second thing, the university has chased me. NSFAS has chased me. So basically now I'm a hobo. I'm homeless. Nchaka, what do I do in this situation? He said, Fanam, you have nothing to worry about. Ever since I came to TT in 2011, I've been getting chased every year. It's small waters. I'm like, yeah? He's like, yes. So I'm like, how do we work around that? He's like, first things first, there's what we call appeal. Like when the university chase you, you can actually appeal. So that they can take you back. I'm like, okay. So he explained to me the process. But he said, you need proof. So that the university can take you back. You need concrete proof as to why you were failing. And I'm like, okay, fine, we'll deal with that. But now emergency, because I have to go back home. My parents are waiting for results. That guy showed me things that I've never seen before. He gave me this document. It's results. Someone else's results. Where they write student number and names, it was empty. The only thing I had to do was to write my student number and my name and then print. So I wrote my student number and my name and then I printed the document, And then I went back home again before I could appeal. And then when I was home, I showed my parents the results, When I was showing them, my father is that type of a man who doesn't believe what I tell him. It's like he can see this boy thinks he's smart. So when he was reviewing the results, I was like, oh God, this man, it's like he's working with Jesus Christ, and right now I'm doing Satan's work. If he catches me, I'm dead. After viewing my results, my father he has shaken my hands. He's like, son, I'm proud of you. Imagine, guys, your father is saying, I'm proud of you, and whatever that he has seen, it's a fucking lie. It was a lie. I'm like, my heart was paining at that time. I'm like, why am I doing this? God, why am I doing this? Why don't I just tell them the truth? But then again, I would think about the bigger picture. If I tell them the truth, Somar, that would be the last time I see Pretoria. So I have to maintain that lie. I have to keep going. Now, keep in mind, I did not have any hope that things would turn good for me. I was just like, no, whatever that used to come, it was fine. So I went back to varsity and then I fetched the forms to appeal. Now, on the forms to appeal, you need to explain why you have failed. So I've thought about it. I'm like, okay, sharp. Now I need to explain why I've failed. Remember on part 1, I explained that my father worked in a mine for like 20 years and then he got retrenched. And then when they retrenched him, the full package that they gave him was less than 50,000, probably around 30 something thousand. And that's just the system how it is. So there were letters that they were giving him to show that he got retrenched. That one. So what I did, I was like, okay, a reason why I was failing. So I wrote it on the form that, you know what, people, you need to understand that the reason why I failed was because the breadwinner from my family got retrenched from work. You know, my father got retrenched from work and there was no way I could focus. So I didn't have food anymore. So I gave these reasons, you know. And then now when it was time to attach the proof, now I was forced to go back home again. I went back home again. Now, when I went back home again, my mom asked me, why am I back? I told her that no, university is going to be starting a bit late. So I'm here for like a week because it's empty there. Now, when they went to work, when my mother went to work and my father was out, I went through their documents. And then I found those letters whereby he got retrenched. I went on to the internet cafe and I made copies. I made copies of the letter. You know. Now I went back home. It was fine. Then when it was time to go back to the university, I went back and then I submitted the appeal form. The appeal form was perfect. You know, it shows that the reason why I failed was because my father got retrenched. And there was actually proof that he got retrenched. Therefore, my performance had to be affected. Right? Guys, this is not lying. This is called hustling. You must understand. It's called hustling. It's not lying. It's only lying when you have nothing to benefit out of this. But if you have something to benefit, then it's hustling. It is what it is. We all have to do what we have to do, you know. Now, I've submitted the appeal. They said that we must wait for about a week or two before the results come out. So I've waited for like 2 weeks and then the results came out. And then I went to the campus to look for the results and I saw my student number there. My student number was there. Like I was taken back to the varsity. And keep in mind, this is like 2015, right? And just so I can make you guys understand, do not do what I was doing. Do not do what I was doing. It's very, very risky. Coach, I'm sorry for disturbing, but Polwani just arrived. Yeah, please, Munada, please take Polwani to the VVIP as well. He's one of our important guests. And then give him cranberry juice. Don't give him alcohol. You know him. He loves alcohol so much. Don't give him alcohol as yet. So I was taken back and then I saw that, okay, sharp, the university has taken me back. Now I had to think about my future. I'm like, now 2015, this is third year in varsity, but still doing first year. So meaning that I'm failing. Now, do I need to continue with this or somewhere I must just give up? And I was like, you know what? No, I'm not giving up. Instead, I will make it as a DJ or as a musician. I will make it dark or blue. Now, 2015, I had this roommate. Guy whom I was staying with. Now he was doing his first year. No, he was actually doing his second year. Yeah, he was doing his second year in 2015. Now I was doing my third year, but in the first year level. So this guy, he was that guy who grew up in a family of oppression. They were oppressing him in the family. He didn't really have freedom. So when he came to varsity, that was like a platform for him to be as naughty as he can. So that's how we were connecting, me and him, you know. So me and him, Vela, we started not going to school. And so forth. And at that time where we were staying at the student accommodation, more girls started coming in. Now I was starting to open up to dating. I was starting to open up to dating and all that. That was early 2015. I was starting to open up to dating and so forth. So me and this guy, he was a rapper. I don't know what happened to him now, but he was into rap, and I was into, I would say, house music in general, being a DJ, right? So many things happened in 2015. 2015 was the year whereby I met Betuel. Betuel, by the way, is my manager, right? If you want to get hold of me, Betuel is the right guy to contact. He's the one who's actually controlling my life. So many people are unable to understand. They think Betuel just came out of nowhere. Me and Betuel come a long way. He was there from 2015. That's when I met him. Basically, most of, even Poncho as well, most of the FBK guys, I've met them in varsity. So the guy, my roommate, he was a rapper and an upcoming rapper. And so we were sitting down. He's like, boy, I want to make music, but you know how difficult it is. What is it that we have to do in order for us to get recognition? And then I told him, oh, boy, I know a way which I can make people download your music. And he's like, show me the way. And then we uploaded a file randomly on data file host. And then I clicked on it like 100 times. And then when I refresh, it shows that 100 people have downloaded it, but it's only me. So he has seen the trick. He's like, hey, Mfana, you are smart. I'm like, yeah, it's called the art of hustling. You need to hustle in life, because if you don't do this for yourself, nobody's going to come and say, hey, you have talent, let me take you to the next level. No, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Especially if a person doesn't have anything to gain out of working with you, they would never work with you. So at that time, I was starting to practice, with music, playing. And then Betwell, he offered to be my manager. Now, here's the thing. I see so many people asking Betwell on his personal level. They're like, why are you driving coaches' cars? Why are you all over coaches' life? Why are you controlling it? Betwell offered to be my manager in 2015 before I knew anything about success. Therefore, even if I had to become a billionaire, he deserves to be my manager. He did not just come out of nowhere just because he has seen me made it and all that. You understand? So you need to understand that most of the people in my circle, we've come a long, long way. Now, my boy, my roommate, I told him that, boy, if you want people to download your music, you must be famous. And at that time, I was not into Twitter. I hated Twitter and I hated Instagram. Not because I hated them, but because I couldn't afford data for Twitter and Instagram at the same time. Instagram was even worse at that time. So I was a Facebook person. My journey started on Facebook. So I went on YouTube this other time. Now, I want you guys to understand something. The reason why I'm telling you guys this story is so that you can understand and know who you're following, right? You're more than welcome to judge me out of the decisions that I made, because I've made it now. But at that time, I want you guys to understand that I did not have a choice. I had to do what I had to do. I had to do what I had to do at that time. Now, I went on YouTube and I Googled how to become famous on Facebook. Here's the thing. I Googled how to become famous on Facebook. That is still like early 2015, maybe around like February, March, somewhere there. How to become famous on Facebook. And I found so many interesting things. Now, I found what we call auto likes. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that before. I found what we call auto likes. So basically, on auto likes, what happens is that you can actually have so many likes, out of nowhere, NG. And I did more research about it. right? I did more research about it. Now, there are so many things that you're going to judge me based on, but at the same time, there are so many things that you're going to learn from me about life on its own. You know, there is no easy success. That's just the truth. So I came across auto likes and I was like, okay, auto likes. What happens here? I checked. I'm like, oh, this is how it happens. So when my roommate was sleeping at night, I almost fainted. So I went to this other website. I forgot the name of the website, but it has something to do with Facebook auto likes or FB auto likes. I went there. Then what they did there, they said log in your account. Now, I want you guys to understand, it's easy to get hacked. Once you go that route, it's very, very easy to get hacked. But at that time, why would I be afraid of getting hacked where else I'm a nobody? When I released my music, at that time, 2015, I was working on my third album. So I wanted people to get my third album so bad, you know, so that I can be given an equal platform or equal chance in this music industry. Now, I tested this thing. I logged in on their website using my password and my email and all those sensitive information, which they could easily hack me based on. And then when I signed in, they said, welcome to the world of fame. I was like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. World of fame. And then they said, choose how many likes you want. Yeah. How many likes do I want? I was shocked. I was like, what the fuck? And then I saw 100 likes. I saw 1,000 likes. I saw 10,000 likes. The maximum that I've seen it was 10,000 likes, basically. And then under there were comments. You could actually get comments. You could actually get shares, right? Like shares, like when people share your posts. So I opted for the 100 likes. I selected the 100 likes. I approved. They said wait for 2 minutes. It's free. Remember, it's free. I've waited for 2 minutes. They said your likes have been sent. Go and check your account. I went on my Facebook. Remember, this Facebook that I'm referring to, it was closed down by Facebook itself. So I had to start a new account, you know. So after the new account, I never did that nonsense anymore. There was no need, trust me. So I went on Facebook. When I went to my notifications were coming in like this. But here's the funny thing. All the people that were liking my stuff, they were Indians. Basically, it was Indians mostly. Faraj Muraj, Kafir Kashi, Shabir Sheikh, Korfor, liking. When I refresh, I'm like, my post, it had 10 likes. Now it has 110 likes. I've woken up my roommate. I'm like, boy, wake up. Boy, come and see a miracle. Boy, we are going to be famous today. I've woken him up and he's like, boy, what's happening? He's still sleeping. I'm like, when I wake up, you were saying you want to be a famous rapper. I found a way for us to be famous, you know? And he's like, okay, show me. And I showed him the account. And then he's like, boy, where did you get 100 likes? Because I know you get 10 likes. I'm like, boy, stick with me, you will go places. Stick with me, boy, you will go places, trust me. And he's like, okay, show me. I logged in the account again. And then when I logged in, they said, wait for 15 minutes. You can't abuse the system. So I've waited for 15 minutes with him. He was asleep. He didn't believe it. Now I've selected 1,000 likes. They said, wait for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, my boy almost fainted when he saw the likes. 200, 300 likes, 400, until 1,000 likes on Facebook. But here's the thing. There was no comment at that time. There was no comment at all. And the main purpose why I was doing that was so that I could get famous, so that people can download my music. If people would download my music, then I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have thought of that in the first place. You understand? So he was shocked. He's like, boy, we're going to be famous. Now I had more than 1,000 likes on one post, right? And I was like, Now I was forced to do a research before. So I actually deleted the post. I deleted the post on Facebook. Now, I remember that account was actually closed. So I was forced to do a research. Where do the likes come from? That was the first thing that I had to do. Where do the likes come from? So when I was doing a research, I found out this is like a community of people who are desperate to be famous. So it's like millions of people. So when you sign up for this thing, you are signing up so that you're giving these guys access to your account. So these guys will actually have your account on their system. Your account will be liking other people's pictures without you knowing. So that simply means that system was used by Indians. So Indians signed up for those things. So when we sign up, Indians' accounts were used to like my stuff, and then my stuff were used to like Indian people's stuff. So it was a relationship between me and Indians. You understand? So that's why I like Indians so much. You see, Indians, the truth about Indians is that most of them, if you can remember 10 years back, most Indians or those guys from Africa and all that, they came to our country by selling blankets. Now they started by selling blankets. You see, by house, if you can remember, selling blankets. You were there sitting while they were selling. Today, they own almost each and every shop in the country. You're still there sitting. They started that. They started by selling blankets. So I knew it. From that moment, I knew that, fuck, Indian guys are very smart. Very, very smart. And I was like, when I grow up, I want to be an Indian. I want to think like an Indian. You know? Now, shout out to all the Indians out there. Shapo, my boy and I understood where do the likes come from. Now it was no longer a surprise. Now we just needed to create a build-up. A build-up simply means, you know me. You know that I'm not famous. But you wake up to my post tomorrow, it has 1,000 likes. You will ask me so many questions. So I had to create a build-up. So my boy and I found other systems we can use, which used to give us 10 likes, 20 likes. So we were creating a build-up, creating a build-up. People were not able to notice. Then before they knew it, there was remember on Facebook, there were things which we were calling celebs. If you were not a celeb by that time, you were not relevant. So at that time, things were starting to pick up and people were starting to talk about me. There's this guy who gets 100 likes. There's this guy who gets 1,000 likes. Check him out. At that time, I think on Facebook, I was CT, something like CTSA or something like that. There was no coach at that time. That's why I'm telling you that the story that I'm telling you has nothing to do with coach, but it's a build up. So not being a celeb was not, if you're not a celeb, you were nobody. You were a nobody at that time. So you need to be smart in life. You need to be very smart. So people started noticing us. Beautiful girls would on Facebook there's no DM, it's actually inbox. Beautiful girls would inbox us just because they see we have likes, and then they would say, please post us and all that. So I would post the girls and I would put them in the system. They would get likes out of nowhere. The trick is, don't ask me questions. Don't ask me how did I get the likes. It's none of your business. It's none of your business how I used to get the likes. Sharp. So now, when I was done with my third album, I saw a platform that, this is it. With this album, I'm going to be famous. I have to be famous because now I have fame, right? Now, I told myself that I will release the album later during the year, just after June. That was just around March. I'll release the album later during the year. During the year. Now, had I known that things would go bad, I would have released my album at that time and took advantage of the little fake fame that I had at that time.